Humans survive battles that should erase them from reality. I did not believe this when I first recorded it. My species does not believe impossible things. We measure them. We classify them. Then we destroy whatever refuses to fit. That was why I was aboard the observation vessel, Ver 9, when humanity entered our sector. We had expected primitive ships, slow ships, fragile ships. Instead, we detected nothing. That was the first mistake. Our sensors swept the darkness beyond the moon of Kharon. Empty. Completely empty. No engines. No weapons. No life. The silence lasted 17 seconds. Then our long-range system detected one human vessel. One. It appeared 12 million kilometers away. My commander relaxed. I remember that clearly. He believed the humans had come to impress us. That was our second mistake. The vessel was enormous, but not beautiful. Human ships were not shaped like the elegant war platforms of the Galactic Assembly. There were no smooth curves, no decorative energy rings, no visibles. The human vessel looked like a piece of black metal that had survived being thrown through a star. Its surface was scarred, burned, covered in repaired sections. It should not have been space-worthy. I zoomed the image. There were hundreds of impact marks. Some were enormous. My commander laughed. He believed the damage was ceremonial. Perhaps humans displayed scars to appear dangerous. I recorded that conclusion. I was wrong. The human ship stopped. It did not accelerate. It did not attack. It simply stopped in empty space. Then another appeared. Then another. Then 10. Then 50. My body temperature sensors began warning me that my internal systems were overheating. The ships were emerging from nowhere. No jump signatures. No more of these distortions. Nothing. One moment, there was darkness. The next moment, there was a fleet. Our officers became confused. I remained calm. I assumed the humans had hidden their fleet inside a cloaking field. That was reasonable. It was also wrong. Our fleet commander ordered a full spectrum scan. The results made the command chamber silent. There were 300 human warships. Not 50. Not 100. 300. And those were only the vessels our sensors could detect. The humans had surrounded the entire moon. They had done it without triggering a single alarm. Then our communications system activated. A human signal entered our network. No encryption. No threat. Just coordinates. My commander studied them. The coordinates were behind us. We turned our sensors. Nothing. Then the darkness moved. Thousands of tiny lights appeared. At first I believed they were stars. Then they changed direction. They were ships. Small human ships. Fighters. Hundreds of them. They were moving toward us without formation. That frightened me more than an organized attack would have. An organized enemy could be predicted. Humans moved like falling debris. Random. Ugly. Impossible to calculate. My commander ordered our fleet to raise shields. The human fleet did not fire. Instead, every human ship turned its nose toward our flagship. 300 vessels. One direction. One silence. One impossible message. They were watching us. I believe they were waiting for us to surrender. That was when I made another mistake. Our commander transmitted a challenge. He demanded that humanity identify its military strength. The human response came 6 seconds later. Only 3 words. Count the ships. Our officers began scanning. The numbers changed. 300 became 500. 500 became 800. Then the system began failing. The computers could not process the returns. Human warships were appearing faster than our sensors could classify them. The darkness around Kharon filled with metal. Cruisers. Carriers. Destroyers. Ships with shapes I could not identify. Some were enormous. Some were barely larger than our fighters. All of them were damaged, burned, repaired. Some had entire sections missing, yet they continued moving. I stared at the largest vessel. Its hull was split from bow to stern. A glowing red line ran through its center. It should have been dead. Instead, its engines ignited. The ship moved forward. My commander whispered that the humans were pretending. He believed their damaged ships were empty shells. Then the largest vessel opened its weapon ports. Not one. Not 10. Hundreds. The stars disappeared behind them. Every weapon charged simultaneously. Our fleet raised every shield. I expected destruction. Instead, the human fleet powered down. Every weapon. Every engine. Every light. Silence returned. I felt something I had never experienced before. Not fear. Not yet. Something worse. Uncertainty. The humans had demonstrated overwhelming force, then deliberately refused to use it. My commander concluded they were bluffing. I almost agreed. Then the human transmission returned. This time it was not sent to our fleet. It was sent to every military network in the sector. The message contained a single sentence. We brought the ships we promised. My commander smiled. He believed that meant they had shown us everything. I believed it too. Neither of us understood what the humans had actually promised. The answer arrived 7 seconds later. Our deep space sensors detected a gravitational disturbance beyond the moon. Something enormous was entering the system. Our displays went black. Then one image appeared. A human vessel. Larger than our entire fleet. It was not approaching us. It was coming through the moon. My commander stood frozen. The object passed through solid rock without slowing. Not because it was intangible, because it had destroyed the moon first. The broken pieces drifted behind it like dust. The human ship emerged from the debris. Its hull was covered in ancient scars. Across its side were thousands of names. I later learned they were the names of dead humans. At that moment, I made my final mistake. I believed those names were decorations. Then the ship opened its central hangar, and I saw what was waiting inside. Not weapons. Not fighters. Humans. Millions of them. Waiting in silence. Waiting to come home. I had believed the humans brought warships. I was wrong. They had brought survivors. Millions of them stood inside the colossal vessel. They were not soldiers. Not all of them. There were children. Old ones. Workers. Scientists. Families carrying objects I could not identify. They looked small beneath the enormous metal ceiling. Fragile. Almost harmless. I made my mistake immediately. I believed the humans had hidden their civilians inside the fleet because they feared us. That conclusion made sense. Fear was an efficient survival response. We had evolved it for exactly this reason. Humans appear to have evolved it too. But humans did not behave as expected. The civilian vessel moved toward the center of our fleet. Its shields remained offline. Its weapons remained silent. My commander interpreted this as surrender. He ordered our ships to advance. The human fleet did not move. 300 warships. 800. Then more. All remained perfectly still. It was unsettling. No panique. No retreat. No defensive formation. Just silence. Our fleet advanced another 1,000,000 kilometers. Then our sensors detected something behind the humans. A second fleet. I froze. The commander ordered another scan. The second fleet became 3. Then 7. Human ships were emerging from hyperspace across the entire system. We had surrounded the moon. They had surrounded us. I watched the tactical display turn almost completely white. The commander finally understood. The first fleet had never been the invasion force. It had been a door. Something was coming through it. Our central computer calculated the probability of surviving an engagement. 0.004%. Then it recalculated. 0.0007%. Then the computer stopped calculating. There were too many human ships. My commander finally opened a direct channel. He demanded an explanation. A human voice answered. It was calm. Almost tired. The human commander said they had not come to conquer our territory. They had come because we had attacked one of their colonies. I remember that colony. A small settlement. Barely important. Our government had classified its destruction as acceptable. 700,000 humans had died. We had expected no response. Why would we? Their colony was small. Their military presence was insignificant. Their species was young. We had destroyed it because we believed they would negotiate. That was the pattern. Humans always negotiated first. We had seen it before. They offered trade. They offered warnings. They accepted territorial restrictions. They even surrendered prisoners without demanding payment. We believed that behavior proved weakness. We had mistaken restraint for helplessness. The human voice continued. They had searched the ruins. They had found the colony's final transmission. It had been sent before the attack. A simple message. We are still here. The humans had repeated those words for 3 years. Not as a threat. As a promise. Then the human fleet moved. Every ship accelerated at once. Our fleet panicked. We fired. Thousands of weapons crossed the darkness. The human ships did not dodge. They flew directly through the barrage. I expected their shields to collapse. Instead, their damaged hulls absorbed the punishment. Ships lost armor. Ships lost engines. Ships lost entire sections. Yet they continued. One human cruiser lost half its bridge. It still fired. Another lost its forward section. It rotated. Then its rear engines became its weapons platform. A third ship exploded. I recorded it as destroyed. Then the wreckage moved. The ship had separated into hundreds of smaller vessels. Each piece had its own engine. Each piece had its own weapon. The destroyed cruiser had become a swarm. That was when I understood something terrible. Human warships were not designed around survival. They were designed around continuation. Destroy one part. The rest continued. Destroy the rest. Something else continued. Their fleet entered ours. Our formations collapsed. Human ships passed between us like predators through sleeping prey. But they did not fire at our civilian vessels. They ignored medical ships. They ignored escape pods. They targeted only military systems. Weapons. Command ships. Power stations. Nothing else. I cannot understand it. They possessed enough force to erase our civilization. Yet they were choosing exactly what to destroy. I began to feel something new. Respect. I hated that feeling. Then our flagship was hit. The entire vessel shook. Lights disappeared. Gravity failed. Bodies floated through the command chamber. I grabbed the observation rail. Outside, 3 human ships surrounded us. Their weapons were aimed directly at our bridge. We were finished. My commander lowered his head. For the first time in my life, I saw fear in his eyes. Then the human fleet stopped. Every weapon powered down. Every ship stopped moving. The human commander spoke again. We are done. My commander stared at the display. He did not understand. Neither did I. We had lost. But the humans were leaving. Then I saw the impossible. The colossal human vessel opened its hangars. Thousands of small craft emerged. Not fighters. Rescue ships. They moved toward our damaged vessels. They began collecting our wounded, our soldiers, our civilians, even those who had fired upon them. I believe this was another strategy. Perhaps they wanted prisoners. Perhaps they wanted information. Then a human rescue craft entered our damaged flagship. Human medics stepped aboard. One of them saw me. He looked at my blood-covered uniform. Then he helped me stand. I expected hatred. There was none. Only exhaustion. I finally understood the scars on their ships. They were not decorations. They were records. Every scar meant they had survived something. Every broken section meant someone had repaired them. Every name on that enormous vessel belonged to someone who had not survived. The humans had not come to prove they were stronger than us. They had come to prove something far more frightening, that we had misunderstood what strength meant. As the human fleet began leaving Kharon, I watched their damaged ships disappear into hyperspace. Then one final transmission entered our system. It was addressed to every government in the galaxy. We do not seek war. A pause. But if you bring war to humanity, understand this. The transmission ended. I looked at the endless human fleet. For the first time, I noticed something I had missed before. Their largest ships were not moving toward the front. They were moving toward the rear, protecting the civilian vessels, protecting the children, protecting the wounded, protecting the survivors. That was their secret. Their warships were never built to win battles. They were built to make sure something human survived them. And that was when I finally understood the impossible statement that had begun my report. Humans do not survive battles that should erase them from reality. They survive because when reality tries to erase them, they send something back. Not a weapon. Not a warning. A fleet. And somewhere beyond the stars, another civilization was about to learn the same lesson.